Well, hey, neighbor, it's me, Angie. You guessed it. It's time for our neighborhood chat. Well, I've started this video. This is the third time now. And I keep getting a phone call and it cuts my recording off. But I'm so happy you're here. I've invited you in. This is the third time now to get your snack and your drink and come join me. I was outside greeting you as you were pulling up, but we had to come in because it was getting nighttime. And I was thinking, we should have a bonfire one night and do the neighborhood chat around a bonfire. Or like a little pit, do a fire in the pit and just sit around and talk around the fire. I think I'm going to do that one night. But anyway, I'm so happy you're here. I'm always happy when you drop by for a visit, but especially for these neighborhood chats. I'm still having this little throat issue going on of this coughing and all this. I don't know what that's about, but please excuse me. Anyway, let's get on with our neighborhood chat. First of all, I want to start off with, I love you, and there's nothing you can do about it. And you say, Angie, how can you say that? You don't know me. No, I don't know you, but I know me. And I know that I'm only required to love the God I serve and love my neighbor as myself. That's the only two things that I'm required to do. As far as judging you, giving you direction on how to live your life, what you're doing wrong, how you're acting, what you should change, who you should become, how wrong you're treating others, or how phony you're pretending to be, or any opinion that I may have, it's not for me to tell you. Because we're all on this journey together, learning, walking, traveling. Because I'm learning just like you are. I have to pivot and make changes every single day of my life. I have to ask forgiveness for things that I do and say, the way I act sometimes, because with my health issues, I stay in a lot of pain. And when somebody's in pain a lot, they can become very ill and not being very attentive. So I sometimes have to just say, I just hope that person doesn't realize that I was trying to be rude or ugly, or I hope they didn't act like I didn't want them around. It's just sometimes I have to be by myself so I won't treat others negatively and then think that they've done something to me. Because people can be very sensitive. I never want anybody to feel that way. That's not my intentions. But that's not what our neighborhood chat is about today. Our neighborhood chat is about stay on the journey. Stay on the road, please. Now, I know that you're going to have to sit by the road and rest because we all get tired. And when it's time to rest, please rest. Don't keep traveling and be exhausted, because that's when people start hurting people. Is when we get tired and, we tend to get, where we don't understand and we don't want to listen to people because some people's problems don't seem as bad as ours. But, the things we have been through in our life and the things that we're going to go through make up who we are. And we have to sift through that and decide what parts we're going to keep and what parts we're going to throw out. Now, in my life, I've not always thrown out the right things. I don't know if you've had that problem or not. But I've held on to things that, boy, I wish I would have let go of years ago, it would have saved me a lot of heartache. But as I've gotten older, I've realized I prefer peace over anything else. Peace, love, joy, forgiveness, faithfulness, kindness, all that over bitterness, hate, anger, resentment, envy, jealousy, drama, gossip. You know, you gotta pick out those things and decide, do I want to be this type of person or do I want to be this type of person? And the worst thing you can be is the one that's in between there, that's not choosing one or the other. And it depends on who they're with, on who they are. You know, if they're with these people over here that's, you know, acting ugly and gossiping into the drama and talking about this one, they're right there. And that's who they are. Then if they're over here with these that are trying to learn to do better and be more responsible and love more and be more kind, oh, they're all for that. You know, lukewarm is the worst thing you can be. Choose a side. Get on one side or the other. But even though whatever side you choose to get on, you don't have to stay there. You can learn to become anything or the person that you're supposed to become. Just always strive to do better the next day. And of course, if you don't, say, okay, I didn't, and strive again. But don't intentionally be that gossiper and nasty mouth, and then next thing you know, you're trying to be the read the word and be the Christian and be the whatever religion you are, and you're really over here with these other people gossiping and talking and doing all this. I mean, choose a side. Don't be lukewarm, because people can see that. I shouldn't even be calling it a side, because to me there is no side. It's just individuals. But the world wants to look at it as sides, because I don't judge you for any choice you make. Now, the ones that are choosing to do things that I don't prefer to do, I'm not going to be around that. But that doesn't mean that I don't love you. It just means that I don't really approve of what you're doing, but I'm not the judge. It's just I'm choosing not to be around that. Am I perfect? No, I'm far from it. But what you see is what you get. I don't act one way in front of a group of people and then act another way in front of another group of people. I'm the same way across the board. That's what integrity, respect, true to yourself, that's what that is. I mean, I don't see how people lay down at night and put their head on their pillow knowing that they're professing to be one thing and acting like something else. I don't know how they do that. Like I said, I'm not judging either side. I'm just saying pick the way to be. Because how can you not be miserable if you can't figure out who you really are, because everybody else is figuring it out? And then when they do, you have nobody, because nobody trusts you. And trust is a big thing. I mean, it is with me. I mean, do you know you can love somebody and not trust them? And you can actually trust somebody and not be in love with them. And that's a whole nother subject. But you can love someone and not trust them, because they've proved over and over again that, oh, we're best friends, or we're good friends, and then they're with somebody else and they're talking about you. And they're saying just how nasty you are or something you did. And let me share something with y'all. Please do not share your personal heartaches with other people that are just going to, when they get angry with you, just going to go out and tell all of it. Be very careful with that. I mean, if you want to share something with me, be assured I'm not going to tell anyone. And I don't say that in a bragging way. I'm just telling you I will not. It's your story to tell. Whatever. Whether we stay friends or something happens and we no longer speak. It's your story to tell. It's not my story. But so many people are eager to tell everybody else's story when they're no longer friends. So be careful who you share personal stories with, like things you've been through, experiences you've had in your life, heartaches that you've dealt with. Be careful. Watch out. I know a lot of people that come on YouTube because they're lonely and they're looking for someone to listen to them. And the ones of you that take advantage of that, shame on you. That is so wrong. But the ones of you that are out there that really care about people, I just say, good for you. I'm so glad there's still people out there like that. But there's so many people that will befriend somebody and try to control that person. And when that person can no longer be controlled, they turn on them and just start bashing them and tell everybody else their that person's darkest secrets. Shame, shame, because it's going to come back to haunt you. Because somebody's going to do you that same exact way. Because what you sow, you reap. That's a proven fact. You sow love, you get love. You sow kindness, you get kindness. You sow hatred, you get hatred. You sow anger, you get anger. Be careful of the seeds that you are planting. Because it's going to harvest one day and it's going to come back. So make sure you choose your battles wisely. And I say all this because I see so many people getting hurt on YouTube over somebody telling something about them. But if they don't know anything about you to tell, they can't tell it. But they'll have to answer for that. They will. So just be the best you can be. But don't be both things. Lukewarm is not good. Either be cold or hot. Don't be in between. And let's talk about responsibility. For some reason, there are so many people that I found on YouTube that feels responsible for people that they've never even met before. Now, to me, the word responsibility has always meant the ability to respond to your circumstances. Now, my circumstances are my immediate family, my health, and what's going on with my circle of trust. Now, should I help others? Absolutely. Should I do things that I feel led that I need to do? I should. But every time somebody asks for help on YouTube or asks for money or asks for you to send them things or whatever, I don't feel responsible for that. I don't feel... It angers me that people get on here and do that. And somebody gave the name Soft Beggar. You know, that angers me because everybody right now is struggling to survive. And they're having to make ends meet on little or nothing sometimes. And then somebody's going to get on here and ask you to send them stuff and things and money. Now, if I feel led to give you something or send you money or give to an organization, I'm going to do it. But to get on here and ask people to do it, a big red flag goes up inside of me and says, no, I'm not doing that. But you'll never hear me say anything personally about any of it, because I'm not going to respond to any of it, of how I personally feel. Why? Because that person could change. Their circumstances could change. They could come back in 2 months and say they were sorry for doing that. Or a year. You know? Maybe they're not at the point in their life where they don't feel ashamed for asking people for money when they should be out working themselves. You know, we don't know where they are in their journey. We don't know why they got where they are in their journey. We don't know their story. I was watching a YouTube channel last night. I was lurking. And they were talking about, they were having a discussion. They were up on a panel and down in the live chat. And they were talking about the heartaches that they had had growing up as a child. And things that had happened to them. And what made them who they are today. I don't see any... And the conversation was not bad, and it did not turn into anything bad. And for some people, I'm sure it was good therapy. I will not tell my story about my childhood or my younger years, except in bits and pieces. Not that I'm ashamed of it, but if I can help someone, I will. But I don't get on here to tell that for sympathy or people to feel sorry for me. Now, some people will do that. But this conversation wasn't like that at all. They were really having a good conversation about how the person they had become. They had become better. Now, if you were talking about being a child that was mistreated or lied to or abandoned as a child, and you've overcome that, and you look back and can tell the story of overcoming who you are, and you've come through that, that's the story I want to hear. I don't want to hear about that same thing of you've went through this as a child and all this, and you still not made any effort to try to overcome what happened. Now, I don't put that lightly, because a lot of people have dealt with things that probably would take years, and some people will never get over some things happening to them. But at least they're striving to heal in some way. You know, they're not staying right there in that moment. Abandonment's not easy, and feelings of abandonment are not that easy to deal with. People dying at a young age in your life is not easy to deal with. Abusive parents, alcoholic parents, all that is not easy. But when you get to a certain age, you have to make a conscious decision whether you're going to allow that to be a crutch, or are you going to allow it to be a stepping stone for you to do better. At some point or another, you got to quit blaming parents for the way you turned out. I was listening to a channel the other night, and there was this channel that this person was in their 80s, and it was a male, and he was talking about being abandoned by his mother as a young child. And this 80-year-old man still had not dealt with that. He could not get past it. He still had the need to talk down about his mother, how bad she was, how horrible she was, and she probably was. But he had told this story so many times that you could tell he just had not let it go. But him letting it go wasn't for her healing. It's for his healing. Because she's no longer alive, so she's not even worried about it. So for his healing, he needs to let it go. That's what I never did understand for years. You know, forgiveness is not for the other person. It's for you. for you to be able to move on. So that person will not be controlling you anymore. Anger. Anger towards somebody is nothing but that person still controlling you. Anger is an emotion. Yes, we can have anger. But don't stay there. Don't stay in the anger. I'm not telling you how long to stay there. I'm just telling you don't stay there forever, because you get stuck right there and you can't allow anything else to be inside you that's so beautiful. You know, new things to grow like love and joy and peace and comfort. And you can give love to other people that come into your life. If you have so much hate and bitterness and anger in you, how in the world can you love somebody else? And you say, oh, but I do. But do you? I mean, is there a payoff in it for you somewhere? Like, maybe you're just loving that person because you're expecting something in return. I mean, loving somebody, you expect nothing in return. Like me telling you that I love you and there's nothing you can do about it. I don't expect anything from you. I just love you. There's not a payoff in it for me. There's nothing I could gain. Nothing I could want. Nothing. It's just that I do. Because every person deserves to be loved and cared about and acknowledged and made feel worthy. You matter. I've said it over and over again. You do. And I'll continue to say it. You matter. Don't let people use you just so you can be friends with them, or you want a friend. You'll find your people. Just keep moving. Don't take everything so personal. And if this person does something to you, move on. Move on. It's okay. But we can get so attached to people that we just feel like they're the only person in the world. And we have to have them as a friend. We have to have them in our life, or we're just not going to be able to function. You will. You'll function. It'll hurt for a while, but you'll function. That's called codependency. When you feel like you can't live without somebody, and they are the air you breathe, and they are something that you're not going to be able to go on without them. Yes, you can. And it's okay. And I'm not going to say it's not going to hurt, because it is, because that's what makes us grow, is the pain that we go through. You know, when a woman is having a child, the labor pains are so painful. But what she is going to get from that pain takes away anything that she was feeling once that baby gets here. Because she has had that baby. And all that hurt and pain she went through, she has that beautiful child. So she had to go through all that labor to get that beautiful gift. And sometimes we have to go through a lot of pain to get that beautiful gift. And sometimes we go through pain and we choose it. And we know we shouldn't be there. And we know we shouldn't be with the person. We know we shouldn't have that person in our life. But we do it anyway. We're no longer the victim then, because we're choosing to stay there knowing that we shouldn't. So we're hurting ourselves. So I'm telling you, you're worth more than that. You're worth so much more than that. You have so much to offer. You have talent. You have gifts. You have so much love that you don't even know you have. And so much joy and happiness and things that you need to get out and do. And there's other people that's stopping you. because you're so afraid of being alone. Oh, if I do that, I'll be by myself. No, you won't. You won't be by yourself. You'll have you. And you're enough. And until someone else comes in, because, you know, other people come into your life. And then you'll wonder, how did I ever live without you? How did I ever make it without you coming into my life? Don't stay somewhere where you're miserable. Please don't. Get up and move. And neighbor, I'm only saying this because I'm speaking to you from experience. Everything I share with you, it's not directed to tell you what to do. It's things I've experienced myself. Things I've gone through, things that's happened to me. So there's no judgment here on anything that I'm saying. Because I'm speaking to you from my heart to say, don't do that. I've been there. And no matter how you want it to work out and try to prove everybody wrong, don't play that game either, because you're not going to prove everybody wrong. Because they've already lived long enough. They already see the writing on the wall. But you just don't want to accept it because you want to be right. You know, one of those right fighters. You have to be right all the time. You'll destroy a relationship to be right. Now, how sad is that? Watch out. Don't be a right fighter. And just because you scream and holler, that doesn't make you right either. The louder you get, that doesn't make you right. That just makes you louder. Try to live in peace and joy and happiness and kindness. And if you don't know how, start trying to find out how. Ask questions. Seek how. Say, what do you have? What did you do? Tell me, how did you start changing your perception? Because if you would have known me 20 years ago, you would have never thought I would be sitting here talking the way I'm talking now. I wasn't this horrible person. I was just a little hard-headed. And I'm so glad now that I'm not that same person I was 20 years ago. And you won't be either if you choose to start learning. Choose to be different. Be who you are. Find out who you are. And with that being said, neighbor, you know I love you and there's nothing you can do about it. Go out and make that difference. Do something for you. Not in a selfish way, but in a way that makes you healthier, happier. So until next time, neighbor, this has been our neighborhood chat. It's been fun. Like, share, subscribe, ring that bell. Hit that like button and ring that bell. And I'll see you next time. Bye.